pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any questions about the minutes of the previous meeting?
Make a motion, we accept the minutes as printed.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I accidentally skipped over the open meeting to the public. Are there any public comments at this time? We'll take that as a no. Treasurer Letourneau, any additions or deletions to the bills?
No.
Any questions from the board?
Make a motion, we pay the bills as printed.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Administrator Susan, is there any correspondence today?
Well, I did get, not a letter or correspondence, but a call from Michelle Gregoire, who made the clock for in front of the village. He can't come here to drop it off, and we can't go there to pick it up. The only way for him to get it here would be to go through a broker and ship it. And he said it would cost $475 plus about $125 for a crating fee to do that. So it would cost $600 if we were in a real big hurry for it. I said I didn't think that there would be an issue with waiting until we can get across the border versus paying $600 to ship a $1,200 clock. But if anyone thinks differently, let me know, because tomorrow he goes into a shutdown for 3 weeks. Quebec is shutting down again.
Until spring.
Yeah, we can wait till
I
spring.
can wait.
Where's it
2
located?
years now.
Where's that business located?
In St. Isidore, Quebec.
Apparently it's between here and St. John. He's between me and where my daughter
Is
lives.
he willing to bring it, like, to Lacole?
We asked about that. I asked the border people here about just doing it at the border. And we can't do that because, someone would have to cross the border technically to pass it off.
I have a friend of mine that has a brokerage business in, right here in Lacole, and he goes back and forth every day. So if we can get him to bring it to Lacole, we'll probably get it picked up. But we can wait till
Check.
spring, I mean, but.
Check with everybody, see if he's
Yeah.
willing to bring it over.
They close down tomorrow for
Yeah,
what,
they
3
close
weeks?
tomorrow for 3 weeks, so if we wanted to try something, that would be fast.
See,
Another month, I guess.
contact your friend and see what he says.
Because it's gonna take a couple days to arrange that anyway, and they'd be closed down by then.
Yeah, especially closing tomorrow.
Yeah.
But within the next month, I should be able to, we'll get an answer. If they're closed for 3 weeks, I'll get an answer from them. If we can get it dropped to Lacole, then he'll bring it over for us.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay. I was notified this week of the Volunteer Firefighter Enhanced Cancer Disability Benefits Program that we were not in compliance with for this year, apparently. And we have to have the coverage by the 1st of January. And Mike got back to us with the number of firefighters we have. There's 14 interior firefighters, according to the definition found within this, which is interestingly a different definition of what an interior firefighter is. But, so that comes to $2,138.78 for 2021. And that's a state mandate that we have to have by January 1st.
So you want to bring that up in a motion or what, or?
Normally it wouldn't, but because we have to have it done either now or by the 1st of January, which requires a special session. If we don't do it now, I make a motion that we buy this coverage as mandated. as required.
I'll make the motion.
This isn't new, is it?
No, it's not new.
Did it
It's
last,
been-
did it
It
last
is
a
new.
year?
It's been lapsed.
It's been lapsed.
Okay. So that was in the budget last year. Is it in the budget this year, person? No.
No.
Okay.
there's apparently a misunderstanding.
We
Someone
can find the
thought
funds
it
for that or
was.
something.
Yeah, we'll be able to take out a different insurance account.
Yeah. It was thought that the health insurance that we have covers it, but it's a completely different thing, is that's a health insurance that does pay for the treatment, but this is a benefits program which provides extra money. So it's a completely different thing.
I make the motion that we pick this insurance up for the fire department
I'll second.
of $2,100.
$38.
$2,138.78. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. I also emailed out a plan states, well, I didn't email this out. This doesn't require action today. It's a complete streets opportunity. This also requires input from the planning board. But they do a thing for, they administer a bunch of grants for pedestrians, bike paths, and so on. And I was asking them some questions after they emailed me about if they'd help if they paid for street signs and park and crosswalk markings. So we have a bunch of crosswalks that aren't really adequately signed. And they said they do help out with that. So I got some information. This is what you're reading now, well, some of you are reading over there, is a example statement from them about what it would look like from Rouse's Point. This is something they wrote up. We're probably going to make changes to this because I don't want to just straight up take what they gave us. And we have to involve the planning board in this, and this is probably something we'll take action on in a couple more sessions. But something to definitely consider because we need better signage for some of our street crosswalks because they're not signed very well. And the signs we had for the street for being put in the middle of the road, a lot of them are gone because people would run them over and destroy them.
Isn't this company gonna charge us for this though?
Hmm?
Is this company gonna charge us for this?
They said, I haven't asked that question. They said they help with grants and that
But
they help fund with it.
Companies don't do that for free.
Yeah, this is really early. I'm looking more into it if it's something beneficial. I've been shooting emails back and forth for a month now.
Especially if we gotta purchase street signs and stuff like that, or these square signs here that I'm sure they don't get demolished.
No, doesn't have to be purchased.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the signs that are on the main street is the state's responsibility anyways. I mean, we put the plastic ones up to help out the village residents, but, I mean, if we talk to the state and ask them to put more adequate signing on, especially on Main Street, we shouldn't have to be putting those plastic ones out, we have to destroy. I mean,
Yeah,
everywhere
that's
else you
quite a
go,
bit more.
everywhere else you go, they have nice big signs, crosswalk, you know. Like over here by Gino's, they have a nice one here. But the ones downtown, they should enhance those a little bit more.
Like the
And
one in
that-
front of my office, there isn't
Yeah,
one really.
that should be on the state dime, but Montgomery Street and Maple Street, definitely.
Should be one fair in front of the church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There's that. Parking ban enforcement. I met with Sheriff Favreau last week, and I asked him about enforcing the parking bans from when there's snowstorms and stuff. He has suggested to me that I get authorization to sign a joint letter that would be signed by me and Sheriff Favreau, because he's found in the past that helps to make, because fewer people will violate it to begin with once people know the mayor and the sheriff is working to enforce it. So it'll be fewer people violating the parking ban, which means it's less of an enforcement issue to begin with.
Okay. You need a motion to sign that?
Uh,
Make
yeah.
a motion to have the mayor sign an agreement with the sheriff's office for the parking ban enforcement.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Also, during the meeting with Sheriff Favreau, I brought up the idea of him giving the office like a monthly or quarterly report on incidents in the village. And he said he'll look into that, because some of the stuff has to be like, they can't give us the entire thing because of privacy considerations. but they'll figure out how to filter all that stuff out for privacy, and that way we get the numbers of arrests and
Yeah, we don't need
thefts and
names
so
or anything. It'd be nice if it's
We don't
speeding tickets or
Almost like
whatever.
an activity report.
Yeah,
Definitely.
It was a really good meeting.
yeah, that's good.
Okay, bids for light poles. I have one bid here. This bid is from, can I say the name of who it's from?
Mhm.
Okay. This is from John Mott, bid on 8 surplus street lights for $250. I'm going to assume that's a total for everything.
For 8.
Birdie. Yeah, we surplus them,
Yep.
we accepted it.
Motion and vote.
Yeah. I'll make
I'll
a
second.
motion, we accept the,
All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay. Nominating petitions. Anyone interested in running for one of the 2 trustee slots that will be voted on in March can pick up their nominating petitions at the village office on or after December 29th. Okay. Executive session to deal with personnel issues.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
An executive session to talk about a land contract.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And I didn't write it in before, but I've got an award for Brian Pelkey's 27 years of service here. Whoops,
27, should be 37.
37? I have a note here for 27.
Oh, you were here longer than
Nope, it's 37 on the plaque, so someone just wrote my note here wrong. Here's your plaque for 37 years of service.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, that's good. We did,
Thank you for your service, Brian.
Thank you.
And that is all I have. Trustee Arno?
I only got a little thing, the library door is in, the one that's down cellar. The guys put that in last week. The upstairs, we cleaned all out with boxes and shelving and all kinds of old wood and stuff like that. That was all done. And the shelving is all in against the wall. And the librarian is very, very happy with the progress that the guys made over there. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Trustee Gadway?
I spoke with Ethan, and they had issues with the Zamboni a couple weeks ago, and they ordered a new radiator fan, and it's been put in, that's up and running, it's good to go. Ethan said Stick and Puck, those have both been busy, Stick and Puck and Obfuscate. And he's also had a couple groups from Plattsburgh here buying ice time, so the rink's been very busy. That's all I have.
Trustee Menard?
I have nothing for this evening, thank you.
Trustee Pelkey?
Yes, I want to thank the fire department for organizing the light parade that we had throughout the village. It was very nice, very festive for the village. I think it brought up a lot of spirits of people. We've got a lot of good comments on it. So hopefully it'll be an annual tradition from now on. They'll do it every year. It was, like I said, we had a lot of support from the community. I think we had, what,
35?
35 participants in it, so it was pretty good for the first year.
Very nice, yeah, it was very nice.
Yep, very nice.
Pretty-
The other thing I have is, on one of the last meetings on the past administration, the mayor brought up about the poles on Chapman Street, that they were in negotiations with the telephone company, that they're gonna be taken out. And I just wondered if we have any kind of update, or if we can follow up on it, so come spring, we're ready to go.
I'll make a note in here.
So I don't know if we have anything fresh on the correspondence? No,
Not that I've heard of, no. I remember Tom bringing it up
Yeah,
at one of the
it was
last
one of the last
meetings,
meetings that,
but, yeah, I haven't heard anything else since.
What street was it?
Chapman Street. To remove the telephone poles, the wooden poles, they're the last utility that's on it.
Yeah,
Cable's off and village is off.
it's just the phone company. That's Champlain Telephone, that Champlain?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a question for Susan. The rec center grant, you're pretty much wrapped up on paperwork on that?
The Parks grant is done,
It's done.
yeah. With the in-kind labor and in-kind equipment, we ended up about $1,500 over the total. So that, all of the paperwork is in the backup and what have you, that's done. The sewer engineering grant is also done. I just got the final report from the engineers today, which went to the granting people, so that's done from us, and then they'll give us a date when they'll give us some money for it, but as far as we're concerned, that particular grant is also closed out.
So the only thing we have left is the northern border grant?
The Northern Border Grant, we did get our notice to proceed. Next, we have to sign the contract for the land and then for the KAS study. And then that'll, progress as well, along with the water plant. The DASNY grant, which was the grant that was used for the water plant upgrades, there was some money left behind in that. We wanted to see if we could use that towards the pilot project. They declined that because the pilot project is considered a test and they only fund things that have a useful life of 5 years, at least 5 years, or approximately 5 years. So I have submitted a request to them for a 2-year extension so that the money will still be there when we start construction, and then we can put it towards the beginning of our construction of the plant. I have not heard back from them on that.
We applied for that when Mayor Letourneau was here, correct?
The grant, yes.
Yeah.
The original grant, yes.
Original grant? Okay, that's about all. The only thing I have is, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy, safe New Year. This is our last meeting of the year, so I just want to wish everybody a Merry
Same to you.
Christmas.
Code enforcement, Cooper?
Things are moving along smoothly. I think we had a very, very successful year. There are a few things dragging. We cleaned up one today. But overall, everybody's very compliant. I'm proud of the village of Rouses Point for doing as well as they did. I want to thank Dale and Mr. Arnold for helping me out. But I thought we had a pretty darn good year overall. I mean, there were setbacks once in a while, but that's part of our business.
Any other reports, Administrator Susan?
No, I have nothing else, thank you.
Okay. We'll reopen the meeting back to the public before we go to the executive. Temporary recess for everybody to leave so we can go to the executive.
Motion for recess?
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.